That shot out pretty hard there. Sorry, folks. Gotta do, there, that should be good. I gotta rotate it. What? Oh, yeah, okay. Upside down, all around. Sorry, guys. Never tried that before. We thought we'd get Bay in here. And it's, oh my gosh. It's just launching. Sorry, everybody. She's launching right off. It's hard to do it in flip, I guess, and I had to make an adjustment, but let's see if that stays. Gonna have to do this one seeding. We had Tina and Little Bay. Maybe he's gonna be the example of every child does matter, you know. I want to get into story now today, 2 stories. I have no choice. I didn't want to do Russia and USA, not for some time, but you know what, folks? As we go through the Chiefs, and I'm not going to release anything that's going on right now, except for to tell everybody it's excellent. It's going extremely well. We're just getting started, just making our way across Canada, west to east. And you know what? The same old enemies keep coming front and center. Now, folks, today it's Roseanne Archibald, National Chief. What looks to me like a complete sellout. Now, I'm going to get into these stories that absolutely highlight some of the most terrific things ever done in the world, ever, for people of the first people, regardless of race, creed, color. A time when the world entered civil rights, not only in the USSR, but as well as the United States of America. If you don't know about the 60s and 70s in USA, I don't know what to tell you, folks. It's all there. It's all there. And coming into the middle of the 70s, we get into this story of USA and Russia. It's unbelievable. But what's not so good about all of it is we have the National Chief of Canada in the social economic organ of the UN. Now, it's a 4th level down of a primary organ of the UN. Social economic organ of the UN. There are 6. General Assembly is in 6th place. Social Economic is in 2nd place. All of the UNSCP5 have absolute authority over the social economic organ. I'm going to do more on Russia in residential school genocide. But folks, these 2 stories about USA and Russia, real, true, credible, and verifiable, put some serious doubt on what Roseanne Archibald is doing as national chief. The kind of doing she's doing right now stink like the Nazi sympathizers of the Jewish peoples right across Europe, and absolutely of the Holocaust in Germany. Nazi sympathizers, Jews who pretended to love their own people only to sell them to what turned out to be concentration camps and gas chambers. Whenever you look at a crime, the worst kind of crime is the crime of those of the same peoples betraying their own peoples, would even throw their own mother or father into a gas chamber or concentration camp. You got to be some kind of sick, mentally deranged, psycho, perverted, mentally, socially, and all of it through the narcissism. The point of psychopath, sociopath, all combined into one, an extreme form of narcissism. Roseanne Archibald, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say as we go on our works. She goes on in the Social Economic Council slamming Russia. Okay, Roseanne, this is for every first person in Canada. It's going to be absolutely for every chief in Canada that we contact. We've already started our process. We're not done. This is a long process. We're going through a specific set of chiefs, folks, with real data, with stuff that the UNSCP5 can take forward. It isn't the end-all and be-all. This is a long process. Nelson Mandela had to do this process. He invented this process that would later transform the UN. But I want to stop before Nelson Mandela. Today, right now, I want to nip Roseanne Archibald in the bud. As she blocked me, threw me away many, many months ago. I know what she is. I know what she is. And folks, I'm sorry, but slamming Russia in the Social Economic Council and claiming that Russia is a colonizer. That's what she claims. Today's story, today's day of residential school genocide, the highlight of the former USSR, which is now the Russian Federation. I can tell all of you, Roseanne Archibald and every First Nation chief, I talked to Dmitry Polansky, Deputy UNSC, in exchange, in real text exchange. And he brought me to 1960. That's how we found each other. He said, I don't know what you've been told. 1514, our resolution, our history for all First Peoples throughout the entire world, and absolute decolonization. Do you know who jumped all over it first? The United States of America. You know that song, Nikita? There was a president of Russia, Nikita, and there was a president of USA, Richard, which would be Richard Nixon. And I'm sorry, but I don't want to mess up the pronunciation of Nikita's last name for the president of the former USSR, who brought the resolution forward and won it in the UNSC for the entire world. It's why you're finding Africa fully behind the Russian Federation today. It's why the Asian world is going with Russia today, folks. And I am sorry, but Roseanne Archibald, national chief, is a national piece of shit. The kind of low-life degenerate that would lie to her own people, betray her own people, and make up a fake reality. And if you're interested in the Social Economic Council as an organ, not Roseanne Archibald's youth organization, way down the tier of that organ, not sponsored by Russia, not even by USA. Who's she with? Oh, other colonials. Oh, she works for the colonials now. Because she always did. That position's been corrupted for some time. I have my suspicions on the last national chief. But now Roseanne goes too far. Folks, if you haven't read the World Binding Law of Decolonization 1960, I give a YouTube presentation for all of you. A resolution by Russia that Richard Nixon would have cemented in the United States of America. There is no example of any Indians of the First Peoples, which is Canada's treaty Indians or unceded Indians, Métis and Inuit. There's no finer example than what Richard Nixon did with 1960 when he got into power and had done, even though they threw him out, his last will and testament with Ford, his vice president, after he did all that work, was to see it done, and it was done. Signed, sealed, certified in 1975. The first peoples of America, the USA, the American Indian, have it better than all Canadians and all First Peoples combined by a large margin. Full self-determination as outlined by Nikita in 1960, passed by the entire world. A world-binding law. Richard Nixon saw it through. Nobody ever talks about it because he's Watergate. The Democrats moved quickly to diminish everything done, even though that is world-binding law. And as sad as it is for everybody who's not white to have to admit, I'm sorry, that's Russia's best gift to the world. Second best, they have the Social Economic Council, a treasured gift there too. You can find that on my YouTube too. Roseanne Archibald, Mary Simon's bad too, but for different reasons. Roseanne Archibald will never tell you these stories. Do you want to see Russian Indians? They're white. They dress a lot like the North American Indians, but they're absolutely Caucasian. And they're Russian. They got the same clothes, same headdresses, same philosophies. We can go back more than 1,000 years. You want to see what they called the savage people? You will find the Russian people. You will find early Britannians living in caves doing some pretty horrendous things that, like the first peoples of Canada and the United States long before USA, we're talking about the history of the North American Indian. You'll find that Britain, Russia, we can go through all those people, right through to Ukraine. They lived as according to what everyone says is the American Indian savage, 1,000 years ago you will find those people in the same typecasted savagery, including the Germanians. We can go on and on, all through Ireland. It wasn't called Ireland then, and all of that world. They were taboo. They would not be with the Catholic Church. They need to be converted. Now, Rome came along and took all of those people. You want to look at history? You want to find some white Indians living alive today? They're in Russia. They're in Russia, folks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that Roseanne seems to think that colonization belongs to Russia. What have you been smoking? Because that's not history. Where are you and in what council? Because I promise you, what Russia and USA have developed in the Social Economic Council, that organ of the UN, second organ at the highest level, don't match anything that you're spitting out in the media. You're a joke. You're corrupted. You're exactly like the Jews who joined up with the Nazis in Germany and other parts going on as Germany went through, like Poland, Ukraine, and on and on and on. I'm sorry, but I can't present anything to Roseanne. I tried. She threw it away. Now we're down to the Chiefs. And I will not stand for any kind of Nazified human being, none whatsoever. Neither will the ICC or the UNSCP 5 in their precedent laws, in real international binding law. They won't do it, regardless of the narrative today, no matter how scared Justin Trudeau, Jagmeet Singh, and soon-to-be Pierre-Paul Laverre are going to be. I am sorry. Doesn't matter how many sellout Indians you can find in Canada or Métis as Governor General. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how many regional chiefs you bring forward. You'll have to kill me. You'll have to kill me. I'm sorry, but that's what it's coming down to. Or you're going to have to pull a Nelson Mandela on me. Because we're not stopping, and we're going forward, and we're going to educate the chiefs to the will of the UN Elder Council and the will of the UNSCP 5 in their binding laws. They're cemented by the United States of America with more than 2/3 majority of Senate and Congress. I'm sorry, folks, but for Justin Trudeau, Jagmeet Singh, Pierre-Paul Laverre, and the list goes on and on. I'm not just picking on them because the list is huge. Joe Biden can't save you. Even if Donald Trump was elected tomorrow or Joe Biden quits, there is no 2/3 majority to stop what I'm going to bring forward in truth, respect, and credibility for the souls of those children. The crime has been done. It's being done, and we're going to see it addressed. It will take a number of years, but we're already on the right path. Don't be distracted, folks, and please, this is credible, absolutely verifiable, and 100% truthful. And there is nobody that can stop it now. There's no Russian president that could stop it. There's no American president that could stop it. They would have to destroy their system. And maybe, I guess, there is one way to stop it, and that's World War III. I don't know. But I don't think that any sitting president of Russia or USA is going to go to war for the skins and the soul of Justin Trudeau, Jagmeet Singh, Pierre-Paul Laverre, Roseanne Archibald, or anybody else. They will see those people fry long before they ever destroy their peoples and their federalism. That's the truth. I'm not afraid, and I'm not going to stop. The world's been at it many times, folks. They've been in more dire straits than this Cuban Missile Crisis. We can go on and on. You don't even want to know about the 60s. These monumental things came in the 60s and 70s, in some of the most trying times the world's ever seen since World War II. I'm not afraid. A great example, it's been put before me, and I'm going to follow it to a T. I'm going to give that tremendous gift. The first peoples loyal to me are giving that tremendous gift as I give this video. We're having another update tonight. It's not going to end. We are under monumental work. I wish I could disclose it. I can't. But it's going well. It's going phenomenally well. And I'm thankful for that, and you should all be too. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm prepared. It's funny how things happen for a reason. For many years I thought, why did this happen to me? A lot of people would have killed themselves over what's happened to me in my life. And I thought, and I hated God, the Creator, you call it, whichever you want. I thought, how could you let this happen to me? I'm not this bad guy. How could this happen to me? This is the worst thing that could ever happen to somebody. How could you do this to me? I didn't do this. But you know what? When I look at it now, all these things built me for this day. And then you see the plan in front of you and you go, you know what? You know, there's got to be something more than just us and evolution, the rest of it. There's some kind of purpose here, because there's no way these things all work out and I end up on this path and live the life I lived and in such dire straits. At my age now, what happened to me so many years ago would have killed me now. I guarantee you it would have killed me. But maybe that's the plan, and maybe somebody upstairs said, you know, I'm sorry, son, you're going to have to go through this in your life to prepare you for a future, to prepare you to be ready, because a lot of men will break. And especially at my age now, a lot of men would break. A lot of people have broken. And I won't break on this. I'm ready for what they can do if that's to be done. But I'm not afraid. I honestly, I'm at peace with it. And I've already kind of seen that before in life. And when the chips were down, like I said, I was in that body shock for weeks and weeks of my life, months of my life. And you know what? That body shock isn't there today. I'm okay. I'm okay, and it's going to all work out. I have tremendous faith. And I'm going to take on all the tyrants. I'm going to take them all on with truth. I'm going to follow my example of Jesus Christ, because the Church of Christ is inside me. It's not no Catholic church. I quit that. I'm in my life, and I'm happy, and I'm comfortable. And you know what? I'm just going to go forward with the truth. And I'm not scared of all those boogeymen out there. I'm not scared. I'm going forward. You know what? This video is truthful. This is reality. You can all look it up. You're going to find out the truth of Resolution 1514. If you haven't watched my YouTube presentation last year, watch it now. Roseanne Archibald was given it. She chose not to look at it. She's going to drown herself with the criminals. Well, you're a criminal too. And you're the worst kind of criminal, because you'd betray your own people. And there is no quarter for that where we're going in that system. Whether it takes a year, whether it takes the 9 years or a few more after that, I'm going to see this through all the way. And we're getting there, folks. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time. This is explosive. You'll find everything I've said here is true, credible, and absolutely verifiable. Don't throw Russia down first, people. Don't do it. Don't fall for the political game here. Russia and USA aren't going anywhere. And I can tell you, they are not going to go to war for no Canada agenda, no dirty UK agenda, no France agenda. Decolonization happened, and it's still got to go. We've got to win, USA and Russia. We will win the others. We will win the others. I'm going to teach the chiefs how. Thanks. God bless. Thank the Creator. Have a good night and share, because again, it's credible, verifiable, and you can all look it up for yourself. It's shareable because it's the right thing to do. Don't be afraid. I know.